tunnel.
Oh boy.
The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness.
Woof, she's big.
Princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway.
Huh? Hands. Something keeps pulling them out. Hello, welcome back. Hello. So we are continuing where we left off with Slay the Princess. What is very clear with this game is that it seems to me that we are jumping through different universes and different timelines. Uh-oh, multiverse stuff. This poor lady, this poor girl. And it seems to me that the way that the story is unfolding is that this other entity that has somehow found a way to observe her other selves in these different universes is gaining perspective of how to not become these other versions of herself, and we are helping her, guide her through that process to find peace. However, peace is not so easily obtained, as we can see here. So let's go on with this this journey of madness.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, it sounds very familiar now, doesn't it?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So one of the things that we did learn from the previous session that we went through with this game is that while you're playing through it, it will not let you tread the same path twice. You will not get the same outcome. It will deliberately take those options away from you and only allow you to progress through it. So basically, the more you just keep churning out the hours, churning out the time, the more of the story you'll just unravel by nature of playing it, which is very nice. So I don't have to remember all these different avenues and all these different decisions. It'll just lead me to the right direction. Let's go ahead. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Let's go ahead and start with this one right here. The end of the world, what are you talking about?
Something about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
How can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Well, so he says. Have you considered that there may be the only reason that she is going to end the world is because she locked up? Now, I think I remember going through that process, so let's go ahead and go with a different avenue. Don't forget, I'm not doing this. Can't someone else do this? Let's try this one. I don't think we've tried this one yet.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Why is that the case? Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did. Have you considered that maybe, let's see here. Forget it, I'm not doing this. Outright denial. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens when I'm really placate the reluctance element.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Do I get a reward sort? Yeah, let's try this. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And
Just for me?
I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Here's one of the big things about this narrator. This narrator is so sussy to me because, like, in a lot of ways, it seems like he's working with us. But the way he sells you to do this shit just seems so smarmy and slimy. It's just weird. We still don't know the identity of the narrator yet. All right, okay, fine. I'll go to the cabin.
As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
So you say.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
We still get the voice of the hero.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
But we don't want to do this right. We want to screw it up. We want to mess it all up. But let's take the blade this time around.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Proceed to the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I don't remember that dialogue. That seems a little different.
Carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Same avenue. We're still down the same time zone.
It's as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Manipulation. I'm just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. Let's go say hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, my lady.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Ah.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Maybe. But no. I haven't decided yet. Steal your nerve, step 4. I think if I remember correctly, I did go down the avenue of just straight slaying her, which I'm not sure if that's the best path going forward. So what? No way. Let's try this. Let's act in denial. What? No way. Why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Coming. Alright, so this is the one where we know that has a huge impact into what scenario it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten the grip. Oh, hang on. No, I'm going to drop it for now.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess.
I love how, like, backhanded the narrator is when you do things that it doesn't like.
Don't know what you're hoping to
It doesn't want you doing. It's so passive aggressive.
Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Indeed. Yeah, let's start with, yeah, it is pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Do you know why I'm here to kill you? I don't think we asked this question.
That laugh. I think I'm in love.
Wait,
Stop it.
I have no idea. To be honest, I don't even know why I'm down here, or how I got here.
let's take this avenue.
I was kind of hoping you might be able to shed some light on the whole situation.
So I don't think I've taken down the path of falling in love with her yet. So let's go down that path. I've been so hesitant about her that I've always picked the options to kind of like restrain her. Let's see what happens when we kind of let her go wild. Let's allow the manipulation to take place. You know why I'm here to kill you? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and look at that.
Do you?
I know what I've been told, whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Okay. I think that all these exploration options we've already gone through. So let's go ahead and close the dialogue.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Getting you out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
No, ma'am.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Is there any key? Do you have any ideas? I'm gonna go check upstairs. Maybe the key is still lying up there somewhere. If not, maybe I can find something to break you free.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out
Yep,
of the basement.
door locks.
The door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Oh, someone's up there this time around.
Is someone else here? You
By the door.
But it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Can you let me out of here?
And pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Oh, well. Guess we go down
Make your way
here
back
again.
to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
Yeah.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Well, the big question is, who is they?
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Oh, do I get the choice to actually cut her out this time?
Like what happens if you do that?
Let's save the princess.
Against your best judgment, you place the blade
In her
against the
big
princess's
eyes
arm,
while it's happening.
just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh.
Yikes.
The blade is
Oh my
sharp,
God.
and you work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
He's cray.
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom
So we
stairs,
still
your
lose
body
control.
steps
We
forward
still
and
stab her in the
raises
back.
gauntlet. Wait, This isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
All these options. Oh, warn her. There's a new option. Warn her.
Stop that. Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
Oh!
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Oh god, she's gonna kill me.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Clinical ease, oh my.
Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end. I'm afraid it is.
Yes.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
So this should be our new timeline then. Prisoner, okay. So who's our no voice?
In the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and you're here to slay her.
We know this. Okay. Proceed.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
What do you say?
Yes, don't believe a word she says.
Okay, we got the
Just go in,
skeptic.
take the knife and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this now and focus on the princess.
I love some of the writing in this.
The interior of the
this is different.
Less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
But he still doesn't see the mirror on the wall.
You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. He didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
Definitely did not. Does the mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I think you know what we have to do.
Okay, so my current guess with where the story has gone, I think the mirror is the observer watching in and watching us. Because every time we approach the mirror, it should fade. So let's see if it does it again. Because we only did it once that other time. Oh, would you lie about something like that? Actually, I don't think we've ever confronted him. Why would you lie about something like that? What's the point?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Alright, let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Okay.
But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Okay, well the mirror's gone. Now, here's the big question at hand. Is the narrator making the mirror vanish before we get to it? Is that what's happening? Or is the mirror not there and he can't see it? That's the big question. Let's enter the basement without the blade this time.
I'm going to insist we take the blade.
Oh, really?
We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? What if she, I don't know, turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical. Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world.
Oh. Is she?
Okay. I'm trusting you.
Yeah, don't I get a say here? What's the big idea?
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go.
So we're gonna take it no matter what.
You do
Yeah.
exactly that.
It takes that choice away from me.
Sweeping the blade from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open,
Okay.
revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
The more constants and variables again.
Harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
So it's not as aggressive as the beast that we fought last time.
You walk down the stairs
Jeez.
and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck?
Yeah, that's kind of concerning.
Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
I agree. Not sure how I need to do any of this. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just here. Leave the princess in the basement. You can leave her there? Huh. Let's sit with her.
You step
She
towards
just
the
waves
princess.
at you. Really?
Before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sit where you were told to sit. Let's follow her instructions.
On the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I think we're gonna go with freeing her this time. My intentions, what do you mean? Let's explore this.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Oh my goodness.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Yeah.
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? Let's ask her that directly. See if she remembers this.
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game.
So we
But
both
yeah,
our characters
I
remember.
remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion.
Yeah, well, we didn't do that.
The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
It's not really.
Contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
Actually, good question there.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met.
Huh?
I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
I suppose.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. All
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna do that though.
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much.
We already said it.
Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Here's the thing. The princess is aware of the circumstance. She recognizes that there are different alternate timelines that we keep getting pulled back into. She is aware that there are other forces involved. She knows, she probably doesn't know about the narrator, but she knows that they're involved in some way in influencing the outcomes of these events. So my thought process is that she probably understands our circumstances and our plight, but she doesn't know the end of the outcome and her purpose, which is the end of the world. That's the part that she doesn't know, because it seems like the moment that she's made aware of the end of the world, she gets hostile. So let's try going a non-hostile route. That happened to me after I died last time.
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them.
Okay, so it's a loop for her
Now
too.
you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
And I now believe this.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I actually think that she's the most honest character that we've seen.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why.
But we know why, as the players. We understand that there's some entity collecting all these different timelines to gain a greater awareness. Am I supposed to cut you out if you didn't notice your head is in a shackle as well?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
Yikes.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
That'd be dark.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
No, she's just done this so many times already.
You should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Well, she's still chained up.
She's bluffing. Whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us. So, what should we do? I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Getting so far as the one voice that actually is like the most reasonable voice.
Start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you.
Might.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
The other chain on the wall, who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
No kidding.
Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in.
We're doing that. We're locking ourselves in.
Ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
We are totally locking ourselves in. That's happening. Inspect the shackle.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. And why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is? And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. Maybe it will. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate. But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't. I am.
Alright, let's inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity.
I think her curiosity is stemming from the fact that she wants to see all these different paths.
Next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad.
Yeah, what is that?
Bad? Yes, it's bad. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time. Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
We are trapped.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Become your own jailer.
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
But our deaths restart things. So we both need to die somehow.
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve. That's horrible. It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information. Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch. No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Both stuck here.
Yep.
Should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Did you know this was gonna happen to me? I suspect that she didn't.
No.
Because this is a new avenue for her just as much as it's a new avenue for me. So we are both experiencing the exact same memories at the same time. Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
Okay. Guess we're gonna be sitting here in silence. Wait in silence.
Princess, wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
Yeah, saying.
There isn't. Time passes.
So we do starve to death.
And passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same.
But we die from exposure.
Cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it. How exactly does that work? It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time, and after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same. If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
That's a good point. I never thought about it that way.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Oh, is the building gonna collapse on top of us? Let's ask her that. Have you noticed that the basement's changing?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
So we'll still continue to wait.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change.
Yeah, the walls are just beginning to decay.
You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls. That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed?
I think I get what her impact is.
We should have died by now.
She's causing the world to like erode around her.
She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't. Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass.
We're gonna be buried underneath here.
And pass. Until suddenly, there
Whoa.
are no walls.
Oh, we're outside.
And I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Okay. This is different.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh, okay. Got collected. There's the memories. She got collected. Again, chance to respond. No will you ever. It's time to leave. Memories returns. So my understanding. Wait a minute.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Okay, of course you're scared. This is not the end for you, but it's the end for me. It's going to be okay. Trust that we've been here. I'm just gonna approach the mirror. You approach the mirror?
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into the reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They are gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what it's in it. Oh, my body's even more... Yeah, I'm really decayed this time around. Holy crap. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Alright, so... I think what is going on is that whenever she goes outside, she immediately is collected by this entity. And when she's collected, it seems to me that the narrator doesn't want the collection to occur. But why is the big question at hand? Okay, there she is. You are at the cabin. Approach her, and there's the entity again.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Constants and variables. It can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist, which I don't think that is really the right case to go with. How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I must go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? Let's try that.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. No, not really. It really seems so distant as I'm near you. I have no opinion one way or another on the matter. I just want it all to stop. Yes, you're torturing me. I hate it, and I think I hate you. Okay, so I wonder if these decisions that you make with this entity shapes the final outcome of the game. Because these seem like not as like... It seems like these choices are definitive, while choices that you make in the scenarios with the princess actually seem to be like replays over and over again, and you kind of mostly just going down a beaten path. So I'm gonna go down... Not really, it all seems so distant as I am near you.
It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But that doesn't make any of them less special.
Okay, what do you think of this vessel?
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. She will make for a patient heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
So, with this one being a patient heart, she's learning patience and resilience. While with the other ones that we saw before, like the monster one that we saw, it was definitely tenaciousness and aggressiveness. She's learning all these attributes and strengths that each of these failed versions of her have, that she can incorporate into her own new awareness to craft a new identity, to craft a new version of herself in this new, call it timeline, new universe, where she doesn't have to be a tragic victim. I'm still planning to kill you once we're done with this. Do you know what happens when the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me.
Okay.
Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Have you figured out what you'll want when we finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Okay. You still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
It's interesting. So she's pretty attached to this relationship in general. I'm still, let's see here. So you don't have any preferences how you would like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
Okay. Let's ask her how many more I need to get.
We will know when we near our destination.
I think we're a lot closer to the end than we realize. I think we're pretty close. Can't be a contradiction, and contradictions don't exist. I'm just curious to see what she might say in rebuttal.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
She's all possibilities. She's all probabilities and possibilities. She could be this, she could be that. She is none of these things because she hasn't made the choice to be any of these things, but she could be those things. That's the gifts that we are offering her, the option of perspective. So, and right here I think are the major decisions. If I destroy the entity or destroy my own body, I think will have major impacts on the story. So I think what we're going to do is just keep collecting. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. So we brought the prisoner to her. So we're back here again. We're gonna go ahead and skip through the dialogue.
And at the end of that path.
All right.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Yes, we are gonna turn around and leave right now. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Gonna walk in the opposite direction now.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Yes, sir.
What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
We still find ourselves there.
It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved off.
Okay. Turn around and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies.
Forever! Yes. I don't care, I'm not killing a princess. Good! Maybe everyone should die! It's what they get for duping me in this woods and asking me to kill someone for them.
When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess. And, last I checked, you're part of everyone too, so if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well.
Says you. Maybe it's not in my best interest,
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Yes, sir, that's exactly what I do.
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Or maybe it's just you. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I'll just start walking in a different direction again. In fact, I'm just gonna keep on trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
Always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Bye.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
What's strange? Oh, whoa.
First, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures.
What? Is the cabin chasing me?
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
What?
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin.
The lights, the stars are the lights of the cabin.
A fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on?
It's like BioShock Infinite.
That, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Whoa.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
The music right now.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Wow. That was a cool ending. Okay, so what we gathered is
You're
that.
on a path in the
Oh, this is
woods,
different.
And at the end of that path, you're here to slay.
Yeah, okay. So what we gathered is that the lights that we see from the stars are actually lights from the cabin from every different universe. Each of these cabins are different doorways to different universes in which we have to kill a princess. And every universe has its own narrator. Wow. Okay. Very Bioshock Infinite. Very constant and variables. I knew that they were really leaning hard into the constant and variable discussion, but when they showed me all the cabins, like, oh, this seems really familiar. Oh, it's all the lighthouses, just like in Infinite, and now it all makes sense now. They're really leaning hard into that, which is cool. I like that. It's definitely a visual choice, a visual spectacle to see. So we've seen all this. Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go into the cabin.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
Now I'm imprisoned in this process.
If you remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Who's our new voice?
I don't know. I think it's more fun.
Contrarian.
Than we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
Oh yeah, let's make it as difficult as possible for the narrator.
By ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever? Then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Okay. So, since the narrator can't follow us from each of these worlds, what is clear is that when she ends the world, the narrator is the only person inside, because we never see any other characters. The narrator is doing everything he can to survive. He doesn't want to die. He wants to continue to exist in his universe. So I think that he's, I wouldn't say a villain or an antagonist, but he's definitely got an agenda for himself. Yep, kept heading the way towards the cabin. Now I'm definitely going to go slay that princess. Yeah. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just gonna stay here in the woods forever. I do want to collect her though this time around. I'm just so curious. I do want to see what he will do if I double down. Let's double down.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Oh, okay. That voice was not the princess. That's the entity. So she's telling me that I'm not allowed to take this path anymore. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely going to slay that princess. Let's lie. Let's try the lie.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you go.
Whoa, these walls, holy crap.
She will
huge.
Lie. She will cheat.
Yeah.
Stop going in there. Maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Alright, proceed.
The cabin interior is
interesting.
Wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
I think I get what's going on here.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window.
That's a good idea.
It's a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway.
Yeah.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, not when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job.
But we know it's not the case. We know that he has the ability to take over our body against our will.
To slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
Huh.
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay.
Stressful geometry.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird.
Huh.
What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Okay, so we know that the mirror is not going to do anything, yada yada yada. I do want to see what he says about the mirror because I want to hear the contrarian kind of be sassy with him, and I'm very curious about how that dialogue is going to pan out. That said, I think I get what's going on in this environment. This is a collection of all the environments that we've been in. See how there's like rocky formations here at the bottom? Oh my. The mud on the ground that we saw from here, the wood moving around and stuff like that, the window. It's a bunch of displaced universes all colliding at once. It's a convergence, effectively. We can even see the floor over here. There's all the lights and from the other cabins. This is a location where too many different universes have converged. Can't say anything about the wall on the mirror.
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's definitely a mirror.
Definitely a mirror.
There isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more.
Okay. So we know the same thing. Remain silent.
Whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else could he be hiding from us? I'm not lying to you, I promise. There isn't a mirror. Really.
Okay. Let's take the blade this time around.
Take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to just... Okay,
yep.
Fine, you took the knife. But you really shouldn't hold it like that. But how are we supposed to hold it? The other way. Thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom.
Oh, reverse grip.
It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
Let's hold the blade the other way.
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations. Yes! Isn't this so much better? Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already.
Alright, let's get into the basement. Which kind of princess?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials.
What's going on?
Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it.
A miasma?
An indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odor that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing.
I'm getting some, like, what do you call it? Lovecraftian vibes a little bit here right now.
Doing her a favor. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
Whoa.
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
We tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
That's actually pretty fun. I think the contrarian is the one voice that actually seems, the contrarian and the skeptic clearly have kind of got it figured out. They understand. Let's take the center staircase. Take the soft stairs to the right. Yeah.
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases, and so on. You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but
Yeah, it looks like a roller coaster.
It's taking you somewhere. You concentrate on
Whoa, that's getting jarring.
to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't, so you take one careful, focused step after another. 1 foot down, another foot down, another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down, or up, or maybe sideways.
Well, now that you put it like that, it does look like that.
It goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much.
Okay. Must be true then. Whoa, what is going on?
You lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
I don't think we ever came in contact with her.
Sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
These are all concept arts that they were working on before they like finalized the sketch.
Assumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity.
All getting sucked into a void.
At all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Can I help you?
Whoa!
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her.
Let's talk to her for a bit, yeah. I'm curious.
Normal.
Alright, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was I didn't realize I was here. Getting weird. Getting down here was weird. It was like I was being pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me? Let's talk to her about this.
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
Well, a convergence is all these different versions of her.
Again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time?
Oh, there's a lot to cover.
Matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done.
This is an eventuality. It will occur no matter what.
Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them.
You can't do that.
It's already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
I like that idea. I actually agree with that. These are all... Apparently you're a threat to the world. I'm trying to get you out of here. I'm trying to get you out of here. Try to free her. I don't know what you are. I can't trust you. They're all locked into the same option. Oh, you know why? Because they're all different versions of what happened. So you're literally making the choice, all the choices all at once, because it is a convergence. So you're also being converged into this whole process. All your choices are being pulled into one. Let's ask her about that. There are more of you now.
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
But she isn't aware. We are.
I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin?
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are.
Now let's complicate things more.
How would we even do that? Where would we start? You would always start by stabbing her.
Yeah.
Which her? Any of them? I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine? I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
That's our objective. We're gonna make things worse. What is your name?
Princess.
The answer this time.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
See how she responds to these.
Is this a quiz? You're the one who came down here, and with a sharp, sharp knife, too. But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it. Oh, don't be coy. We both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Oh, I love this. This is wild.
This was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
So the contrarian's finally had enough. Really? Let's ask her, what are you going to do when I let you out of here?
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. I just want to live my life. I'm not going to dance for you.
Could be a big meal for the entity.
If you want to put an end to me, then put an end to me.
Not a single real answer. At least aside from Miss Blood and Destruction. It's infuriating, isn't it? Whose buttons are there for us to press? Whose skin is there for us to get under?
What?
Not exactly how I'd put it, but I don't disagree. There must be something we can do. Asking questions just seems to make things worse. This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
Indeed, it is. All right, I guess we're down to our only option left now, which is to do all of it. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture.
Oh
The room
no.
spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions.
We're getting spaghettified.
All at
Oh
once,
my.
you charge forward, knife flinging to slay the princess just as you strike at her bindings and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess.
Yeah.
But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now.
This is like Evangelion shit right now.
I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating.
It's very nihilistic outlook.
Luckily
Yeah.
for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
Okay, it looks like.
falls apart.
Oh, hello.
I think he's gone.
The entity should
We weren't
collect
going to
this.
salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others, they just don't fit.
Ugh.
We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
Whoa.
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Surprisingly sincere.
She's become the physical embodiment of convergence.
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Ugh.
Please.
So, if anyone's ever seen the game, it's an old 90s game. It may have even been an 80s game, but it was based on a book. I forgot who the writer was off the top of my head, but it's called I think it's called I Have No Mouth and I Want to Scream, in where this AI annihilates mankind but only leaves a few survivors left and basically constantly tortures them to death. The way her mouth is like stitched in and evaporated like that off of her face reminds me of the entity that turns you into the creature at the end as like eternal punishment. And hence the book is called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. You're literally turned into an entity that wishes to scream, but you can't. And it's just bizarre looking. And it's just meant to be an amalgamation of pure suffering. She looks like that to a certain degree. And I'm definitely getting some like Evangelion vibes from this too. It's wild. Whoa. Okay. It's going to be okay. I'll do my best. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. You just destroyed anything. I'm not going to fix you. Okay, let's try to be sympathetic. Okay, there we go. She got collected. That should be a pretty big meal for the collector. A lot of memories all at once. When everything is possible and nothing is. Very nihilistic. Yeah, the illusion of choice. You'll never know if... Oh shit, I didn't read that in time.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Let's go ahead and approach. Well, let's see what they respond with.
It feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that.
But here's the thing: the contrarian now is not acting very contrarian, and it's kind of throwing me off. Not the end. Whatever's going on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. You're not messing with us, right?
Approach the mirror. Approach the mirror. Oh, I bet I'm an amalgamation of bullshit now too, aren't I? Since you reach for it, they're gone once again. The mirror always leaves them, but you always see what's in it. You're unraveled. Huh. I'm not sure what that means exactly. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. There she is. You're at the cabin. So it seems like this mound that we're in, where the cabin is supposed to be, I think that the entity itself might be like where the cabin is, in like at the center of these universes.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Beyond the long quiet. There's another universe that's beyond all these other universes, like a new fresh start. That is a wild like design. The way this thing looks is crazy. Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want me to tell? Do you want to tell me?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
No, siree. There are trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there are supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
It's lonely being an entity like this. That's what she's saying. That's why she cherishes our involvement so much, because we can cross this boundary the same way too. Do you think that there's anything real out there? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Okay. It's quite the conundrum of thought evoking ideas, I guess. Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
These ones are a contradiction. A winding kaleidoscope of paths unwalked. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold.
Ah.
They will make for a rich and vibrant heart.
Okay.
Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
That deep bellowing from the singer there. Holy crap. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are some voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but none of them, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Does the vessel have one? Okay, so he's asking about the narrator, and he also wants to know whether or not the princess also has her own narrator of her own kind, which is a good question to ask. These are actually important information to know about.
No. Their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Oh, so she's not aware of a narrator. So none of the princesses have the narrator, but they're aware of something else being out there influencing these outcomes, but they don't have one of their own. And this entity has never seen the narrator, never engaged it. He does, but I don't know why. Or he does. But I know this for a fact. He does. I do not know what I'm going to find when I find him. He does. When I find him, you and I are finally going to have some answers. He does. So our character knows for certain that he does live beyond these worlds. Probably because he shows up in all the worlds, but he has limitations to his power. He does. When I find him, I'm going to kill him. When he does, you're going to have to keep that to yourself. Let's tell her to keep this information to herself. I don't know. does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. Let's start with this option. This seems like the safest option.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Oh, is the narrator our own, like, entity just like hers? Maybe that's what's going on. I imagine we're probably like one more away then, right? How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Okay, so once we find one more, it literally will create like a domino effect where all the other ones that are out there will start being pulled into her. If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you? You know we're going to fight when this is over. Here, let's ask her this.
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
You know we're going to fight when this is all over. Do you really want me to bring you the vessel? If this is the last stage before your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm going to stay here. I'm gonna ask her about this. I don't know if this is a bad approach.
We may fight, and we may not. But not all fights end in destruction, just as not all conversations end in peace. Even if you destroy me, it will have been worth it to finally know what I am, and to have had the chance to know you.
If this is the last stage before completion, then I'm not going back. I'm going to stay here. Let's see what she responds to that.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
Let me see. She'll just be patient. Okay. There is no waiting forever. Yeah, because I think we'll just find ourselves in just a big long silence. So I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Yep, everything goes dark and you die. So this is it. This is our last one here. Bringing the stranger to her. A rich, vibrant heart.